welcome to a new video, and this is War Thunder. This is a game that I have played quite a lot, and it's a game that I enjoy, but it does have its downsides, so let's go right into it. So, first of all, what is War Thunder? Well, War Thunder is a World War II airplane game / simulator, and is also now stepping into the realms of tanks, as you can see here. I haven't played that too much though, so I don't have too many tanks unlocked. It's only currently available for the Germans and the Soviet Union, although I was a closed beta test for the ground forces. So first of all, this is the hangar or garage. This is where you have all your airplanes, and this is what you will see every time you log in. There are 5 nations. We have the Americans. Here you can see a P-51 Mustang. The Germans, here with a Messerschmitt. We have the Soviet Union here, or Russia. Here you can see some examples, maybe a bit more iconic airplane, the IL-2. We have the British, of course we have a Spitfire, and we have the Japanese. Here we have an A6M0. So when I got into this game, I was still playing on my Mac laptop, and the game wasn't actually available for Mac at that time. I had ported it, or someone else had ported it, and it didn't really work that well. Then I played on a crappy PC, and now I have this. And as you probably can see, this game looks amazing, and it runs really well too. The graphics in this game is just really pretty. Gaijin, the developers of this game, it's a Russian game by the way, have done a really great job on the optimization and the graphics. I've actually turned some of the graphical settings down, like the lens flare. That would be really intense if I had it on full. Also the trees rendering range. That's because I play simulator battle or full real battle quite a bit, and that makes it easier to spot the plane in there because you don't get a marker. So, like I just talked about, we have 3 different game modes. We have arcade battle, where you get to use every plane in your slots. We have realistic battle, where you only get to use 1 plane. Much bigger maps. You start on runway, and almost only nations that fought each other. Well, only 1 nation versus 1 nation at the time. Here you can see the tech tree for the Americans, and War Thunder actually stretches a bit into the Korean era. Here you can see the F-86 Sabres. Same for the Russians, for the MiG-15. I have most of the planes unlocked, but not all though. Here you have the premium planes, which you buy for either real money or premium currency. Some of them are quite expensive, and some you get for buying packs for actually real money instead of gold, like this P-51, this one. This is War Thunder, and I will show you a game of the arcade game mode. I'll also explain a bit more as I go, and I will hopefully show you a game of that not so long. Now going back to the tech tree, we have 5 ranks, and this is based on the year I believe the plane was introduced to combat, not sure. But the planes also have a battle rating, which says what planes it will go against, and also planes have different battle ratings for arcade battle, realistic, and simulator battle. Now, you may have seen some videos on YouTube where I've heard historical battle and full real battle. Realistic battle used to be called historical battles, and simulator used to be called full real battles, so that's why it can be a bit confusing. Here you can see on the US Tech tree, Tier 5s are only jet planes or rocket planes. We start off with the reserve planes here. There's some crappy little planes. Here you have your main fighter line with planes like the P-40, P-39, P-38, Thunderbolt, and King Cobra, P-51, which then leads to the P-86 Sabre, which I haven't unlocked. Here you also have your US Navy line with the Wildcat, the Hellcat, the Corsairs, different versions of the Corsair, and a Bearcat F-8F, which didn't see service in the Second World War, but continues on that line. We also have our bombers here, and our naval bombers here, I believe. Germans. We actually have some Italian planes here, not too many though. We have our reserve planes, as you would expect, not very good. This is the Messerschmitt line, which is my favorite line. I prefer the Messerschmitt over the Focke-Wulf line, which you can see here, which leads to the Messerschmitt line leads to the 262 Messerschmitt 262 jets, and Germany also has a Sabre and a MiG-15 for high-tier battles. Here we have the heavy fighter lines, and the Grand Attack line here, I believe, and the bomber line, and also some premiums, but those aren't relevant for the tech tree. The Russians, again, reserve planes. Here we have the Yak line. This is the really just prototype plane, mostly. Also a Polikarpov, how do you say that? Polikarpov line, the E series here. These are just prototypes, which lead to the MiG-15. Here we have some really bad Yak jets. This is the Lavochkin line, with planes like the LA-5 starting with the lag, going to some not so good jet fighters like the LA-15. Here we have the Grand Attack aircraft. Probably the most iconic one is the IL-2, which I have here. This is a earlier version. And then we have our bombers. British tech tree. We have the Hawker line with the Hurricane, Typhoon, and going to the Tempest, and soon to come, well, in the future there will be a Hawker Hunter here, which I'm really looking forward to. Here we have the Spitfire line, starting of course with the Mark 1, going all the way to post-war Spitfires. And then we have our Gloucester Meteor jets here. We also have the heavy fighter line here, Beaufighters and Mosquitoes, leading to the Wampa jet. Here we have our bomber tree for the British, really not a lot here. And it ends with the Lancaster here. And then at the end, the Japanese, which don't really have that many planes. We have the A6M line, which goes into the N1K line, or I wouldn't say line, the N1Ks, and then the Japanese get a Sabre. Here we have the KI line, not the naval line, Ki-84, which leads to a Ki-200, which is a Japanese version of the German Me-163 rocket-propelled aircraft. Then we have a few heavy fighters, torpedo and dive bomber, naval bomber, I think is the correct term. And we have the bomber line here with the heavy bombers. So that's all of the tech trees. There's nothing really more to say. I will probably go more in depth with some of the planes or some of the lines later. And now I'll show you an arcade battle. So I'm now trying to get an arcade game in my Russian tier 3. There you can see how many players that were in the queue. Here you can see this map is a Grand Strike map. So I'm going to start with my LA-7B. In arcade battles you get to use all of your planes, which is only in arcade battles. The flight models are really arcadey and nothing really makes sense. You get an external view. You can of course also use the cockpit view if the plane has one. This game really looks great, I have to say. Another thing that I really like about this game is the music. I really feel that it fits it. Another thing you get in arcade battles is a leading indicator. This game does the bullet drop and bullet physics very well. You can also see that there are markers over the enemies. In arcade battle you also fly all nations versus all nations on each team. Like I've said, things happens in arcade battles that wouldn't be possible in real life. So let's see if we can't engage this Isle-10 here. Let's pull off a bit. That guy has a tail gunner, so I need to be a bit careful. And we actually killed his pilot, so that is good for us at least, not for him. We can also reload our guns in arcade battle. That's something you can't in the other game modes as well. Every plane gets a boost, but only for a limited time, which not all planes have in the other game modes or in real life, which is what it's based on. So let's see if we can put some shots into this, kill his gunner, as you can see. Going to turn around. You can't break your plane because of pulling too many G's in arcade mode, and you can't break your plane because it flies too fast. However, it still get locked up at higher speeds, so that's something to look out for. Don't get too cocky in dives. So I haven't really got a good burst into this Ju-87 yet, this Stuka, which I hopefully will now. I'm a bit afraid of crashing into the ocean. Ooh, oh dear god. Well, as you saw, we crashed into the ocean. I'm going to pick a new plane here, the Yak-3, which I really like. I like most of the Russian planes, and since this is a Russian game, Gagarin gets accused for Russian bias quite a lot, which isn't necessarily true, but this game isn't necessarily perfect either. So this plane isn't as heavily armed as the previous plane, but it still packs a punch. If you only get these guns to get on a target. But here you can see another guy took him out, so he got an assist at least. So I'm going to fly into the combat again. This is a Stuka G model, so he has twin 37mm under the wings. Something that could be really dangerous, but then again he has them on the wings, so you have to worry about convergence, which we don't because we have all of our armaments in the nose. However, we don't have that much ammunition, so as you can see in the top left, we only have 23 rounds of cannon left and 308 rounds of 50 cals left. Okay, that guy died before we got any shots into him, so we didn't get an assist. So I'm going to reload now. I believe we can get assist if you kill the pilot of an already dead plane, as long as the pilot isn't dead, but I don't think it was worth it. Now our machine guns are reloaded. They reload quicker because they aren't that effective, so you don't have to wait that long, especially in planes where you don't have that much armament. That's a good thing. We just got our cannon up and something's shooting at us. That's a Yak 3P, and we don't have a wing, so let's just bail out. Oh, okay, maybe not. And I'm going to take this plane now. As you could probably guess, there are different objectives and there are also different game modes. This is a Grand Attack map, which I'm not a fan of because I don't fly bombers that much. There are also domination maps where you have to land to capture airfields and hold them to make the enemy's ticket counter go down. Yeah, I think those are more or less okay. That don't die. So that's arcade battle in a nutshell, really. I don't think there are too many other game modes than that. So let's see if we can't get any more kills here. There are quite a lot of enemies here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got surrounded and died because we are outnumbered and outgunned. So let's see if we can't engage this fuckwolf here. Okay, he decided to crash. This F4U Corsair here. Okay, set him on fire and he's dead. Good. And we actually lost there because the enemy killed all of our ground targets. So let's see the results. A really bad match on my part. So let's see if we can't get another one. I'm now going to take low tier British. Here you can see the queue. We can see what nation people are flying and how many are in what tier, which is quite useful, especially when you're flying simulator battle and realistic battle and there aren't a lot of people flying. Then you can decide what nation you want to fly as and what tier. So I'm going to start out with the Spitfire Mark 1A, which is a plane that I really love. We had to wait for a few seconds there. I had this game on my SSD, which is really quick. Just really waiting to get into the combat. Here you can see the mirror on the Spitfire Mark 1. That guy has smoke on his wing. Cool. I have red smoke because I'm just cool like that. This is a ground stack map. Here you can see we have spotted all the enemies. We can also see the enemies, but we haven't spotted them yet over there. So I'm not sure if I want to go be the first one YOLOing into the crowd. I think I'll let some other brave pilots go first. this is not a great plane for head-on, because it doesn't have that powerful armament, and it has it in the wings, so not ideal. Here. Okay, I'll dive on this Hurricane here, just to get some separation from those planes that I flew. So you'll get a aiming indicator at roughly 700 meters. I'm using stealth ammunition here, which has no tracers, and it does take quite a bit of time to kill someone with these guns. The Spitfire has 8. Okay, that guy killed himself or bombed himself, so I got a kill. Can't complain. The Spitfire has 8 303 machine guns, which aren't the best, I have to say. Later Spitfires have a much better armament than this one. So let's see if we can find another target. I don't think I'll catch that Sparrow. So, oh, wow. I wasn't even paying attention there. KTR got me from above. I wasn't looking upwards. Oh well. Nice kill to him. And I'm dead. Guess I could have bailed out, but don't think the pilot would have survived it anyway, so no big deal. Now I'll take the Hurricane Mark II, which has 12 machine guns, and I also have a few rockets mounted, just because it doesn't really affect my performance that much, and this is arcade battles, so guns counts more than... Guns and maneuverability is what you want in arcade battles. Performance isn't really that important. Well, it is, but not to the same degree as in the other game modes. Yak 7. Fire a few shots. Now, it is quite hard to hit with anything, planes at least, with the rockets. Okay, I missed all of those, but I did manage to hit him with my machine guns, which is good. So he bailed out. Let's see if we can't attack this Sparrow. Italian. 3-engine bomber, medium bomber. Not that good. I've already critted this guy, and now I just chew his tail off. The Hurricane has quite a lot of ammunition, but it also takes a very long time to get your rockets and bombs back up if you're not flying a bomber. So here's this Kittyhawk. I think this might be the guy that just shot me down. Ooh, I wasn't quite able to turn there. This is a good angle, shoot, and he's dead. So yeah, now there are a lot of people that call these low-tier British planes, overpowered, which I would agree to some extent, but I think there are other planes that are quite capable to take them out, even though some other nations have quite significantly worse planes. So yeah. Now this game is actually free to play. I would, if you're interested in this sort of thing, I would highly recommend that you give it a try. I think it's about a 7 GB download or thereabout, so it shouldn't really take that long to download. This game is also available on Steam, which is where I have it, just because I like to see what my friends are doing. Oh, didn't quite watch R6 there, but it's okay. Oh, and I'm out of machine gun. ammunition, so I'll just see if I can stay on this guy's ass until I reload, which isn't long. Now machine guns are back up. I believe I've upgraded the reload time quite a bit, and also these are so small guns. Well, the caliber is so small that it really doesn't take a long time to reload, even though you don't have a great crew. As you probably can see, the aiming reticle isn't 100% accurate, so you usually have to aim a bit more than what it displays, or a bit less if someone is turning into you. Another thing is that you can't stall. As you just saw, I just fell down, my nose fell. You don't stall or spin in arcade battles. This guy is flying in a straight line. Okay, he's actually faster than me, so I'll see if I can take this lag. Got a few hits. I'll easily outperform and outmaneuver the lag. Oh, well, that was scary. He's going into the vertical. I have someone on my tail. Here you can actually see the damage report to the left. I haven't taken that much damage. Okay, his pal is dead, and so am I. I guess I could have prevented that, but it doesn't really matter because I get more planes, and I wanted that kill. So now I'll take the Hurricane Mark 1, which has 8 machine guns, very tightly grouped together, as you can see here, in pairs. Well, double pairs, I guess. You can see how the team are doing on the top there, how many ticket counters we have left. That's an aerial bombing target, which heavy bombers loves to go after. Or bombers in general, I guess. Now, if you're starting out in War Thunder, then I would recommend either the Russian or the British line. Begin with that, because those get really good low-tier planes, which are easy to learn the game in. Another kill. I'm doing quite well now. And that over there is a swordfish. Probably the worst plane in the game. It is really slow. It's a torpedo bomber. You only get a torpedo. You can't have any bombs, so if there aren't any boats in the game, then too bad. It doesn't take any punishment. It has one offensive through a 3 machine gun, and it has one Lewis gun for defense mounted in the rear, which isn't really enough to protect you from enemy fighters. But I actually fly it out in realistic battles, which takes quite a long time because the maps are really big there, just for fun. Because it's so bad, I guess. Okay, those two crash together in a head-on. Let's see, P-26, which is a American reserve plane, is going into the vertical, which doesn't make it hard for me to shoot him. Sorry about that, I just muted my mic because I coughed. Lag 3, he has a 20mm cannon, very dangerous, but he didn't appear to hit me with it. Although I got quite a few hits into him, so now it's just a matter of finishing him off, or maybe someone else will. Critical hit, lost tail control, I put a few more bullets into him. Now I have someone on my ass. Okay. Let's see if I can't shake these guys off. Oh no, this is bad. Although I do have help, and we won. The enemy ran out of tickers first, which you can do by losing planes, tanks, aerial bombing targets and that. And I actually got first on my team. And here you can see, this is the research points I got. Although I researched all the modules on this, I didn't get much, only 33%. That's because I'm researching a higher tier plane. This is actually I believe this is my double experience today, because this is my first game that I won. Let's see, award Fighter Hunter, Bomber Rescue, Grand Force Rescue, Fighter Rescue, Fighter's Nightmare, destroy more than 10 fighters, win streak, the biggest amount, Hero of the Sky, destroy the most air targets, and I've received a trophy. So here you can see, I did the best overall, at least in enemy planes killed. This guy actually got more points than me. He got quite a few assists, probably did a lot of damage without getting kills. So, this is War Thunder. I highly recommend that you check out this game. I've had a lot of fun in this. Also, there will be a link in the description below. If you register your account using that link, you will get 50 Golden Eagles extra, and I will get, I think, some rewards if you progress and reach certain tiers. So I recommend that you use that link to register. It's always nice to have some extra gold. As you can see, I'm completely out now. And that's it. I will make a video in not too long, hopefully, about the realistic battles, the simulator battles, and the ground forces. Let's see if we can end this with a cool tank. I don't have that many tanks, actually, even though I was actually a beta tester for the ground forces. T-34, beautiful tank. It's in my intro. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.